go. What's up, gamers? Alright, I'm gonna check that we have audio going. Start from the beginning. Again, this is the last song from the EP called Departure, and let's give it a listen first before I start explaining how I designed the tones, how I wrote the riffs, how I wrote the song, and all that good stuff. So let's get started. Alrighty, and that, I believe, concludes the first playthrough of the song. Sup Cloud Edge, I see you. But yeah, so this song was the last song of the EP. And interestingly enough, I wrote this in the middle of writing Apes Together Strong. I didn't finish that song. I ended up finishing this song before I finished that song, which is pretty interesting. So it shows you guys, like, if you have inspiration, when inspiration strikes, like, just ride the wave, and I think it'll be more productive than actually forcing something out. But yeah, so I initially started. Let me grab my guitar. I initially started with the riff over here. It's just those two chords. This is like I don't know what this is. It's like a minor 7 with a raised 6. But it has like a really melancholy kind of feel to it. And then it's a D major 7, but with the B and B and E strings open. And I just started out with those two chords. And that became the main, like, motif around the song. So this was the initial idea, and then I was thinking, like, I don't want to just keep doing the same riff the entire song like I did with Arrival, even though thematically that might have been cool, but I wanted to try to do something different. So I added a harmony on top of that. Just essentially following the same kind of style or rhythm, but I don't even remember how to play it anymore, so I have to, like, solo this out and listen. Okay, so this I was outlining like this kind of chord, and I was just and then it goes into like an E major, so it's basically an A and then an E sort of vibe, and then the top, the other harmonies. Ooh, damn. Neural DSP quad cortex coming in clutch. But yeah. So I just added those two harmonies and then stacked them together, and it sounds like this. Yeah, so the vibe I was going for here in terms of the guitar parts was really Chani, sort of Covet, like Yvette Young kind of style, but really simplified, and I just wanted to get into the main essence of the riff, of like the initial riff. And after that, I thought, man, I was vibing hard, and I thought it would go really well with like some strings. So I just added this. Which is essentially just outlining the chords, I think. Nothing too crazy. And for this part, I'm using the Spitfire Audio Intimate strings, which I think this should be I think it's like a signature pack from a composer. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, this sounds really nice. Granted, I think I only programmed in the notes. I didn't do a lot of like velocity stuff or expression stuff at all, which isn't great. I should have gone back and done that, but I did set myself a time limit on this EP. So I thought this would have been the best way to do it. Just make sure that the melody gets done, and then I think I made it really low in the mix. But either way, it complements the guitars, in my opinion, really well. And then, yeah, I added pads, 2 pads on top of this to make it more full. Again, it's the kind of songwriting tool that I use a lot, where I stack layers once I want to get into a part that a fuller part. So I stacked the strings first, and then I stacked the pads on top. And then here's where the drums come in and the bass comes in. So here it's basically the exact same thing, except I added drums and bass. Yeah, so this entire section up until the 34th bar, the guitar part is exactly the same, and I was just riding the vibe the entire time. And I think that's something to keep in mind. Like, if there's a part that really just, it vibes hardcore, you guys can ride that wave as long as you want. Like, there's no rules to say that you need to do anything special, like after like how many bars or whatever. I personally think this fit the song the most, because I felt like I just wanted the songs to be broken up into really simple sections. So I felt this was part of the thought process, at least when I was writing it. I don't quite exactly remember everything that went on while I was writing this, but I finished this song within like 5 hours, including the mix and everything. And it was just because I felt like everything just came to me so naturally here. And yeah, so after this I chilled out without the drums. And one little note, this drum part, like the 2 kicks here, like I felt like I started to get a picture of what the song was gonna portray. And I felt like I wanted these 2 kicks to sort of mimic a heartbeat to get into the next little section here. Like that. So yeah, after this, it continues riding the wave. And then here's the next section. Yeah, so this next section, again, I really wanted that Yvette Young vibe, so I stacked the chorus on this guitar tone here and went with like So this was I played an E into a F sharp, back into a D, D major 7, and then so this section is just going up the diatonic scale. So I went E, F sharp minor, and then instead of a diminished chord, I went into that, like, the minor with a sharp 6. Wait. No, that's not right. It's a minor with the added 6. And then I added the octave, and this is the minor 3rd. And then into an A, and then back into the 1st chord, and then back into the D major 7 here. Just following the diatonic scale. And then from there I went into B minor, and then C sharp minor, and then D major 7. Just to get back into the flow of things. Yeah, so for this section, I basically just took the default preset and slapped on a chorus, I'm pretty sure. I might have messed with the reverb a little bit, but outside of that, it was just, I had a chorus pedal. And then I went back into the main theme, but this time only 4 bars, and then I went back into the, I would say it's like a bridge section, but I added a few more things. So I added a top line melody here. Just something super simple. It's like sort of like another top line melody. And then I added the plug here, which is funny. So that melody, if you guys listen to the entire EP, that melody is from Arrival. And initially, I wanted the entire EP to have this exact melody throughout all the songs. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in one of the live streams before. But I was thinking it would be like a grand concept where I have a single melody that shows up in every song. But that never happened. So I wanted to keep that at least for Arrival and Departure, because I guess the name sort of it's sort of kept in the same theme, right? So I wanted to at least have one song where that occurred with alongside Arrival. So this is where I put it. And then again, I have the pads and the top line guitars. And then it gets to a heavy part. Yeah, so that was like the main breakdown kind of riff. I knew I wanted to be like really orchestral with this song as well, so I wanted the orchestral parts to shine more. And I think, in my opinion, I did achieve this, because the riff, like the breakdown riff, was so simple. Like it left a lot of space for the strings to poke out in the mix. So the strings itself was... Yeah, I'm not sure if that's like a good way to program strings. I basically just put like the root notes for like the lower register instruments, and then I had like a couple of harmonies with those, and then on top of that I added a melody, and I think I had like at least like 3 instruments playing at the same time at any one point, and a maximum of 4. And it's all string section. I didn't add like any horns or anything because I wanted it to be like, I was thinking of like Castaway when I was writing the string section for this. So that's what I went with. And let me actually check what these are. So I have okay, so I use Nucleus, which is also like a great string library. It's super full sounding, really modern sounding as well. It's really powerful, but I think I made it like really low in the mix compared to the intimate strings, or was it the other way around? Let me check. Oh, okay, it's the other way around. So I wanted this like really full orchestral part to come out, so I used Nucleus instead of intimate strings. And yeah, so it basically aligns with the chords here. And this, let me think, how did I play it? Yeah, so here, this section is just outlining the, but I added a E. But let me think, did I put an octave? I think I did. Yeah, okay. I pitch shifted down. So I think I played if I pitch shifted down, let me see. I'm pretty sure I have a pitch shifter in here. All right, cool. I do. Turn it on, and so I did because I wanted it to an octave lower, so I tuned my guitar down half a semitone so I can hit that C sharp there. And then, of course, because I've been listening to like Spirit Box, Humanity's Last Breath, and stuff like that, I'd added a little part where I went all the way down to -8 octaves. So that would have been, oh wait, not -8 octaves, -8 semitones. So I went from, oh wait, no. Hold on. Wait, this is 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I went down all the way down to like a drop. Wait, if I'm in, it would be like a drop F sharp, which I'm pretty sure is what Spirit Box tunes to, like Mike Stringer from Spirit Box. Yeah, and then it repeats. And throughout this entire time, I also have the this section here with the guitars. I knew I wanted this just to sound like ridiculously full in the mix. I mean, like the entire section. So including the guitars and the strings. And then here I added the pads back in. Again, one of those songwriting tools that I really like to use. And yeah, so let's listen to this entire breakdown section again. Yeah, so that's the breakdown section. And how did you come up with the chord progression for this section? I mainly took the first initial idea and I made it super heavy with distortion. Like, that's how I thought about it. So it's mainly this. It's the same two chords. So, oh wow, wait, hold on. But I added the E. And I thought, like, if I did the same sort of like chords and pattern, it would be easier to digest. I didn't want to just go into something stupid crazy, like stupid heavy. Like, it still sort of gives that like sort of off time. But not really off time. It's sort of like syncopated. Like, it gave a syncopated vibe initially from the clean riff. And then I went into the distorted riff thinking, oh, I should keep that sort of syncopated feeling. And that's how I came up with the riff. For like the part that goes super low, I was just thinking like I wanted something that uses a pitch shifter. And the only note that I thought would fit the most would be the minor, which is this. So I went all the way down like a whole octave from this note. Wait. Oh, and a whole octave from this note. So it's two whole octaves from like the 5th string note. And yeah, I was just I was listening to a lot of Spirit Box while I was writing this EP, so that's how that happened. But yeah, so from there I moved on to the solo, and this solo, man, I'm not really good with triplets. So this took a really long time to get down, but let me see if I can still play it. Something like that. So let me think how I wrote the solo. I knew I wanted to start super fast because for Arrival, I think I started relatively tame, like something like that. And I wanted to go in with a bang for this one. So I was thinking like, how do I get to this note? Because the first note I actually thought of was, because I was already thinking about like what kind of melody I wanted for the solo, and I thought of the first few, which was super cute, really like anime sounding, but at the same time, like I felt like that's what felt the most correct. At least like it fit the vibe the most, but I wanted to go in with a bang, so I initially started with, which is a triplet kind of feel, going up the minor 6 of this, so that would be F sharp minor Aeolian. And then I hit that note, and then I knew I wanted to do something like this was this kind of melody like you hear a lot in anime, even though I don't watch a lot of anime now, but I've always had like musical tendencies towards that kind of music, or like just JRPGs and stuff like that. So I thought like, oh, like this kind of soaring kind of it's almost as if it's like a positive vibe, but at the same time it has that little hint of melancholy in it. I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of in the middle, like nostalgia. Like, how do you explain nostalgia, right? It's like that kind of middle of sadness and happiness. And like, that was the vibe I was thinking when I was trying to write the solo, and those notes were the ones that came out. And then once I got to this section, like, it follows the strings and the chords, because the chords, like the underlying chords for this section is basically this, just with a shit ton of distortion. So yeah, so it's basically the bridge chords, and I wanted to go along with the rising part, like. So here for the solo, I did the. Yeah, and then let me think. Where did I go from there? Ah, yeah, so here it goes super chordy, and then I went with the chords as well. That's something I used to do a lot, and then I stopped doing, but I wanted to like bring it back for this song, which is I used to inject a few chords into my solos, not just like always single note stuff. Like I really liked like this stuff, and then leading into a different single note section. So I brought that back, and I thought it fit really well along with the rhythm guitars. And then from there I added I'm not sure how I thought of that one. I wanted something that didn't really sound that didn't sound as linear as the other melodies in the solo so far. And I thought like I would do something more arpeggiated, so I went with and then yeah, so that's the solo part. This was really fun. I really enjoyed the solo, and everything else was basically the same as the previous parts. I added the pads to go along. The pads here, I'm pretty sure it's all the same thing, and then the plucks. And outside of that, it goes into this. All right, this, I'm pretty proud of myself for this one, because I actually used the physical pedal for this. Alright, you guys can probably hear that there's like some amp feedback there. So that I'm using this pedal here. Let me switch to the big camera, which I'm thinking is this one. Alright. So I use this, which is the, let me check, Digitech Freakout pedal. And this pedal in particular is super cool because it gives you the ability to actually get feedback from amp sims, which you can technically sort of do if you like crank your monitors up and put your guitar close to the speakers. But I mean that I don't know, it just, this sounds really cool. Like it's not natural at all, like by any means. This doesn't sound natural, but for the effect, I really thought like this was a really cool pedal, and I bought this off the mixing engineer who's gonna be mixing this EP. So thank you to him, Dan's. You know who you are. And yeah, so I used the physical pedal for the first time in a very long time to execute that little trick there. And yeah, I wanted it to like go into that into the last section with the distorted feedback sound. All right, I should go from here. Yeah, so that's how it sort of worked. And I thought, man, that sounded so cool. So I wanted to add that in. And then after that, it just goes back into the main melody. And that's the song. So yeah, this song was really easy to write. I don't know. I finished the entire thing in 5 hours. I'm not sure if I did a particularly good job, but the inspiration struck and it kept going. So I finished this before I finished Apes, which I technically wrote earlier, like during this entire album cycle, if you will. But yeah, so outside of that, let's go through the tones. So for the clean guitars, I'm using Pliny this time. And I'm pretty sure I did tweak this though. Let me listen to it. Everything's at 12 o'clock though. But I do remember I tweaked something. It might have been the mics. Because you guys can see that I did change something. But yeah, so I used Pliny for this and Pliny for the other top line melody, which looks like the exact same settings. But I might have tweaked the EQ or something. Oh, no. Really interesting. I have no clue what I did. But yeah, that's the guitars. For the distorted guitars. Oh wait, no, we'll go through the chorus guitars first. This one I use Archetype Corey Wong because that has the chorus pedal. And I'm pretty sure... Wait. Okay, I didn't turn on the clone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I kept this stock, except for adding the chorus pedal and maybe the reverb. I turned it on and I'm pretty sure I adjusted the reverb. But yeah, so outside of that, I wanted the chorus pedal to have like a pretty subtle effect overall. But I did want it to give it a bit more of that like warbly lo-fi kind of sound. So I did turn the mix up, but I turned the rate down. Or would it be turned the rate up? Well, I made the rate slower and I just let it. Yeah. So I thought it sounded pretty cool. I would have preferred if like I had a physical like a Julia pedal, which I'm pretty sure is what Yvette Young uses. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I've seen her with it. But if I had something like that, I would have probably use that instead. But I would probably still use this amp though, because it sounds great. And yeah, so that's the chorus tone, and then the distorted tones. Here I'm using Archetype Nolly again, pretty sure. Oh, I'm using prog metal rhythm today for this song. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I didn't want it to have too much attack. So I ended up using this patch instead of the D word, which gives it like a bit too much of a top end, like upper mid range boost, which in my at least in this context didn't really fit the song or fit the vibe that I was going for. And then for the solo, let me see. Did I use... I used the same thing. I used Articulate Leap. I feel like I didn't tweak anything, but I might be wrong. I might have added the reverb, actually. I might have added reverb in this one. I don't remember, because I did change something. I'm pretty sure it was I just added a reverb, and everything else was kept stock. Might have added a compressor, I'm not sure. Either way, that's my solo tone. Let's give these a listen on their own. Ooh, that trail though. So yeah, that's my guitar tones. Bass tones, I'm pretty sure I'm using the same stuff. Yeah. So Dark Glass Ultra. I'm pretty sure, again, I turned the drive down for the clean parts. And then for the main distorted tone, I used Parallax. For Parallax, I generally just use either Jacob Umansky's tones or John Stockman's tones. I don't use anyone else's. I sometimes use Nolly's, but I found that, at least for my style of playing, these two are bass players like tend to fit my tone more. And yeah, so that's that tone. I'm pretty sure I didn't change anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I didn't change anything. I just accidentally pressed down on my left mouse button. So yeah, that's the bass tones. And here are what I'm using for the library. So again, benang, which is strings in Indonesian, if you guys didn't know. I'm using the intimate strings library for the more mellow parts. And then I'm using Audio Imperia's Nucleus. Yeah, and this is, again, Spitfire Audio. Spitfire does amazing stuff if anyone's into orchestral stuff. I do recommend Spitfire Labs. It's all free, which is insane value. Well, I mean, there's no value because it's free. But I mean, it's like... It's probably one of the best sounding orchestral libraries and just like sample libraries for free, which is insane. Outside of that, I have the pads, which are, again, I love this Woodchester Piano's Ache, Dream, and Clouds layer for that like granular sort of reversed reverb pad kind of sound. For the plucks, I'm using... Oh, don't crash. Okay, I'm using Omnisphere here. I'm using this preset. And for the other pads, which I'm also using Omnisphere. Agape Warmth and Sheen. Yeah, so that is basically it for the synths, right? Yeah, I added one impact to get into the heavy section. And then outside of that, you guys already know it's GGD, Modern and Massive, and P4 Kit. And that is it for all the sounds. And a few final words, I guess, before I close off this stream, because this was a pretty quick one, and this is probably the last stream I'll do for the EP. I'm not sure if I want to do the lo-fi track one, because I didn't really take myself too seriously there. I just used like Logic stuff and wrote it down. But if you guys do want to see that, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, so this EP, I learned a lot about myself, for one thing, and just recording in a time crunch, as well as mixing. I learned a lot about mixing during this entire thing, because I initially wanted to release everything on my own, but I found that I might not have the ear for this. So I eventually decided to not release it on Spotify and other streaming platforms first, and make sure, like, I wanted to make sure that the quality was enough to get on those streaming platforms. So again, I paid a friend to help me do that, and I'm hoping that I'll release the EP on all streaming platforms sometime in the summer. I'm not sure when that will be yet, but I'm hoping I can do that. And I learned a lot about orchestral stuff too. This is the first time I had anything orchestral programmed in that I released, I think. That's at least that's original to me. And yeah, it was really fun to just like write stuff with no rules. But I'm pretty sure if I printed out the score for this and told an orchestra to help me play it, I'd get flamed. But yeah, if you guys learned anything from this, I'd be really grateful, because I learned a lot from this experience. But I guess that also shows, if you guys want to learn more, like outside of looking up tutorials, you guys should just try and make the music. Doesn't matter what you're running, like whether you're running like a potato computer or you're running like a $3,000 rig or whatever. There are ways around it. For me, when I was in the hotel room and I had my Mac, the only way I could actually get through actually writing was to bounce down the MIDI tracks, and that would finally allow me to record stuff. Because if not, if you guys followed my Instagram, you guys would have known that every time I had drums, my computer just crashed. Logic just crashed immediately. So there are ways around like equipment in terms of writing. And then if you guys are really confident and determined, you guys could get a perfectly good mix from your laptop and your interface and your headphones. I don't think the EP that I released on YouTube is perfect by any means, but I think I did a pretty solid job. Like, I would say it's a lot better than my previous stuff, and it took a lot of time. I put in a lot of hours into mixing and tracking and everything. But overall, I'm really happy that I did this. I'm really happy that I got to release it. And yeah, I think that's it. As for the meanings for the song, I think I'd never touched on any of that. For Arrival, I didn't really have anything specific, but I think I mentioned like Besaid Island when I was going through that song. And yeah, I was just like really, I was really just going for a vibe there. Whereas for Apes, I was basically just trying to copy Chimp Spanner. And for this one's really special, actually. I didn't think that I would write something that was meaningful to me for this project, but I wrote this for my family, because if you guys didn't know, my parents, both of my parents have passed away, and I never wrote anything for them, because I didn't have the courage to, nor did I have the skill, maybe. Like, I was just scared to like explore those emotions while I was writing. And this was the first time I did. Once I got that initial riff down, throughout the whole song I was just thinking of them, and I think that's why I was able to finish it so quickly. But yeah, I wrote this for them, and like, I don't know if you guys believe in whatever, but I hope that they could hear this. And yeah, I think that's it for the streams so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this little escapade. Let me answer a few more questions. Have you heard any of the newly mixed tracks yet? I have. So Dan's, who's the mixing engineer, who I hired for this, he's already sent me Arrival, and it sounds a lot wider. Arrival, initially, like the way I mixed it, I don't know, I feel like it just sounded way too mid-focused. Like, all of the tones sounded way too mid-focused. But the way he mixed it, I feel like it sounds a lot wider, which I really enjoyed. So I'm glad I'm glad I got him to do my EP for sure. And the drums also sound insane, because he has like a different way of doing drums. I think he uses like easy drummer libraries, which is insane that he can get it sounding so modern. But he uses like easy drummer and slate drums or something, or slate trigger, and like his processing chain for that sounds insane. I never asked him about the details, because I feel like that's sort of like his secret sauce. But yeah, it sounds amazing so far, and I can't wait to hear the rest of the tracks. But yeah, again, thank you all for joining the stream. It's been a wild ride for getting this EP out and recording everything. And I hope you guys stick around, because, I mean, you guys already know, right? The Polyphia track just dropped. And I'm not promising anything, but Polyphia Part 2 will probably come out when the album comes out. Like, maybe a few months after the album comes out. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to stick around on my channel. But before that happens, I'm just gonna, again, this is the filler arc of my channel, so I'm just gonna be posting random videos, maybe like a setup tour, or like what I'm using for pedals and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully you guys stick around for that video, because their new song slaps. I really like that new song. And I probably have to buy a nylon string guitar now. But we'll see what happens, right? So yeah, again, thank you all for joining the stream, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I keep forgetting that I actually have to go here and stop the stream and blah 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 blah.